Alrighty, traders. Hello, everybody. My name is John Howe, and I thought I'd come on today and just go over some of the markets today. Silver's obviously having a really big move today. So Silver's really creating that blow off top sort of movement right now, which is very, very dangerous. But I want to come and do a bit of a live update. And just go along with the markets. If you guys are watching the replay, that's what this is all about. And to go through the stock market, to go through everything like that as well too. And also to share some personal stories around my life as well too. So that's what this whole live session is going to be. I literally just come back from a run this morning. So I'm eating breakfast, which is oats and berries. So that's why I wanted to come on, and I literally just have opened up the charts myself as well too today. So I'm going to be going through the markets like I would, but I'm going to be doing it live with you guys. So I can say, hey guys, what's doing today? What's doing? Plus I'm enjoying these lives with you guys as well too. So to catch up and you guys get to know me a bit more personal as well too, which is quite awesome. So yeah, so I just come back from my literally just over a 5.5K run this morning. I've done over, I think it's over 20 Ks this week, which is not a lot of running, because I'm getting ready for you guys that don't know, I have a High Rocks competition event coming up in April, and I'm going to be doing solo, so I'm going to be doing the whole thing myself. So that's the reason why I'm getting ready now, right? I'm not waiting for the last minute, but I'm getting ready now. So I thought I'd come on, and while I'm eating my breakfast and all that sort of stuff, come on and say, hey, what's doing? And then I'm also going to go through the markets as well. Let me go through. Obviously, guys, one of the big things about trading, guys, is the number one thing. This is not just a disclaimer point of view. This is actually this is a professional trading point of view. The biggest thing that's switched it from me from my success, and one of the biggest things that helps me with my trading is every time I enter a trade, I don't think about the profit anymore when I'm getting into the trade. I automatically think, what is my risk on this trade? So it's a bit of a tip for you guys. Like my last 20 years of trading, majority of my trading career, I was always thinking about like, how much money can I make? How much money can I make? Now when I'm getting into the trade, I'm always thinking about how much money can I lose? What is my risk? Because in any situation, I can be wrong. I'm wrong a lot, right? And I can have losing trades. And one thing I found is that if I can take care of my downside, my upside is then taking care of itself. And that's when I can start to get these really nice profits. One of the reasons why I like trading options, by the way, is, let me see if I can just bring this up to here. It's one of the reasons why I like trading options, by the way, is because one of the things that I'm always thinking about is I'm always trying to get, so one of the reasons why I like trading options when I'm actually trading the markets is because if I've got, say, $100,000 trading account as example, and this is the way that I personally trade. If I have $100,000 trading account and I put on say a $10,000 position, right? That's a $10,000 position with options. Now my average loss is around 20-30%, right? If I do have a losing trade. So I'm thinking, okay, if I have a $100,000 trading account, I put $10,000 in and I have a loss, I'm down $2,000 or $3,000. Okay, I can mentally be okay with that. That's my worst case scenario. Or worst case scenario is a big loss, a 50% loss. Now, yes, it's getting into the right trade, utilizing the right options there. But I'm just giving you a bit of a mindset of how I personally trade the markets and what's really helped me here. And so I'm looking at this, okay, if I get into that, I'm doing 10% of my account in an option there. I'm buying plenty of time, by the way, not just 1 week options. That's the worst thing. I'm buying sometimes several months worth of time to give myself plenty of time. So I think about, okay, $100,000 trading account. If I take $10,000 and put that into one trade, if I'm wrong, I'm thinking about the downside. and I get out fast and I don't just hold on to it, I can get out with a 20 or 30% loss. Okay, cool. I'm down $2,000 or $3,000 with that one trade. But if it's right, and I do get it right, and it is a good successful trade, that $10,000 investment can turn to 200 to 300% return. I've had many trades that have had that. And so if you think about that, right, like $100,000 trading account, $10,000 position. If I'm wrong, I'm going to lose $2,000 or $3,000. If it's a really nice successful trade over the course of a couple of months, that $10,000 position could be a $20,000 or $30,000 profit for me. You see the mindset there, right? See the mindset. Once I started to understand that, I understand that even if I only was starting with a smaller trading account, I didn't need that much. I didn't need that many trades to actually start to help me get into the top range. And this is actually what stopped me from over trading. If you guys have problems with over trading, understanding, and the template for me was this here. There was a template here that I got access to a long time ago, and it really helped me. This one here, right? This here, this here. Now, I'm not saying you're going to do this, right? And it's not a. This is just a template here. Don't say it's not a. This is not a. Well, you're going to do this every single trade. It's called 7 doubles, right? Now, remember I said before, I've had many trades that done 2, 3. I think one trade did like 500% return this year for me. 500% return. Now that's over the course of a couple of months, right? Not over the course of 1 week. You got to be realistic. If you want a big profit, you got to give it time. But this is when I started to understand this template here, I started to understand that, I'm not, even with some losses in there, and no, not every trade's going to be a double, like 100% return. I'm going to have my losses in there as well too. But if I'm starting with a smaller trading account, say $10,000 or $20,000 trading account, I don't need to take 10 trades this month, right? I need to maybe take 20 trades this entire year. And I say 20 trades, why? Because you're going to have some losses in there, right? Some trades are not going to be double. Some trades are going to be 200-300% return. Once I started to understand this in my own personal trading, this is the thing that stopped me from thinking like I needed to trade a lot, right? Because we have this now, I need to be trading. I want more trades. I want more trades. I want more trades. And that's the worst thing to do, right? The worst thing to do is be looking at these. Hey, Coach John H Live. To the moon. Hey, home 3. What's up, man? So I wanted to share that with you before I just look at the charts as well too, because I want to share. This is one of the biggest things that's really helped me now, and this is the reason why I don't trade a lot. But I'm looking to get, if I can get into one really good trade and hold it for a course of a couple months and have a 20-30% growth on my entire trading account over the course of that one trade. Now we're starting to talk some, and before you know it, and this is the thing that really helped me understand that, I don't. And then by understanding this is what took me from day trading, looking at 1 minute charts, 2 minute charts, 5 minute charts, even hourly charts, which is not bad, to then looking at more like, how do I get into a trade, hold it for a couple of weeks to a couple of months and have a really big profit? Because all I need is a handful of those trades, and I've made a lot of money that year. So understanding that there, and this is the reason why I personally only trade. My trading is only like right now, right? We only have an hour left before the market close. This is generally the time I'm looking at the markets now, scanning the markets, looking at the markets, managing positions, and then I'm off. I only trade an hour per day, basically. And when I say I'm only trading an hour per day, is I'm managing the positions I'm in, and I'm looking for new opportunities as well too. I'm not getting in and getting out within that hour. You don't need that many trades. So there we go. Let's go to eat some eggs, forget oats. Come on, my man. If you're an athlete, if you know anything about athlete, what do you need, right? You need carbs. You try to do a full high rocks event. You try to do a full whole. If you try and do a full sort of like conditioning session, high rocks training session, full running, sled push, sled pulls, and you're doing that just on eggs and not many carbs, you are gonna flatten out really quickly. So I do eat eggs, but it's one of the reasons why. Anyway. Protein's good, man, but I'm telling you right now, even for I just did a 5.5K run. I had a banana, I had a scoop of electrolytes, and also a bit of extra carbs. Protein is good for rebuilding, yes, but the carbs is what you need in the muscles to help you with that explosive movement. Especially if you're going for a fast, you're trying to do a fast 1K run, or you're trying to sled push, sled pull, roll machine, VO2 max type of workout. You do that just on like low carb, you are gonna get destroyed. Anyway, that's just what I've found anyway with my personal. Let's bring on the charts here. We're looking at silver right now, guys, by the way. Looking at silver, by the way. So anyway, so yeah, guys, I hope you can see that you don't want to pass out. There's a balance there, man. There's a balance. You only pass out when you have too many carbs, right? This here is not a lot of carbs. It's a quarter of a cup of oats. It's a quarter cup of oats with blueberries. And plus I've just had a 5.5K run, so my body's gonna suck it up. So it's all good, man. It's all good, okay? So anyway, guys, I hope that first sort of 10 minutes really gives you a bit of a tip, bit of a guidance on what's really helped me with my personal trading. I don't always get it right, and I do have losing positions, right? But how do I make sure? I'm always thinking about how do I have a successful year this year? And I'm always looking at a successful year, not just a successful week or successful month. And that's what I'm all about when it comes to my coaching program and, you know, and everything like that. You know what I mean? And oh, by the way, guys, if you haven't so yet, make sure you, let's go back to here for a minute. If you haven't done so yet, guys, make sure you grab access. If you like the mindset type of thing, I created this brand new book here based off my experiences in the markets of 20 years. But this is also going things I've learned from Jesse Livermore, W.D. Gann, Paul Tudor Jones. Like, what are the foundations of that? There's like, I think there's like 9 chapters there, and it goes really deep into it. I promise you. Just after you read chapter number 1, again, you get it for free. So you can go get access to that. After you read chapter number 1 on this one here, I promise you, you're going to be hooked with the book. I tell you right now. If any of you guys have actually read the book, let me know. But it's, again, I give it away for free, so you can go get access to that. Let me go back to the charts now. I just want to make sure you guys get access to that there. Let me go to so this is silver right now, guys. Thank you, my man. Like button is good. Yeah, but bullish, silent, and stuff like that. You probably know. You probably realize with a lot of my YouTube videos. I think I'm probably one of the only YouTube videos that doesn't say like my video and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. You probably realize that, right? Because I don't really focus on that myself. It's probably one of the reasons why I don't get the views that maybe some other people get. But anyway, I don't really care. Half my viewers are not subscribers anyway. So I don't really care. I just come on, the right people will show up and the wrong people will leave, and that's okay. It's okay from there. Rust, cool. Again, guys, you're looking at silver right now, by the way. This is the silver chart. Just looking at the different time frames here. If you guys watched yesterday's session, what did I talk about with the moving average? Right? Look at this here. This is the 24 moving average. Remember I talked about yesterday, but the weekly chart. If you guys watched yesterday's live session, I talked about if we have a strong higher lows and the moving average trending up, we're probably going to continue up. Look at this here. and we go through what? We go through different phases. Remember I said before, remember I said yesterday about the different phases we go through? So higher lows, you can see high, low, high, low. Look what happened just recently. Every single one of these drops here, up, we had this little pullback here, but the moving average was trending up and pushes it to the upside. Sideways, moving average trending up, pushes it to the upside. So if you guys watched, if you guys saw yesterday's session, it's one of those things that the moving average is going up like that, but then the market comes up and we end up having a bit of a correction coming down. The moving average is like a momentum indicator, and more times than not, it'll push it back to the upside, as you can see through here. So it's one of the most powerful things, or powerful technique that I'm always utilizing myself to see where is momentum. And that's what's happened here just recently. For my coaching clients, this is a beautiful level 2 type of trade, as you can see. Oh, actually, not a beautiful, but I really had a good level 2 type of trade style of it. Again, I'm not going to get into it. That's for my coaching clients, but for my 1% group. And again, my coaching group's closed right now, guys, so I'm not selling anything right now. I don't think you can buy anything from me. I think I've got like a small trading course you can buy from me for like a couple of bucks, but I don't actually have anything to sell right now, guys. I really don't. My coaching program's closed, which is my main coaching program, and I'm just coming on to say hey to you guys. Let me go to here. Rust, cool. John, was it you that talked once about a health condition with a diet alone? What I'm about to say now is my experience and what I did myself. But there's no way me telling you it was the right thing to do. But yes, back in 2008, I had cancer. And the doctor said that if I didn't get any treatment done, any radiation or chemo or all that sort of stuff, then I had 6 months to live. Again, this is not medical advice. I'm not telling you what to do. This is what I did. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. But yes, I decided at that time through research, study, understanding that I was going to do it on a more natural path. And it wasn't just diet alone. No, it wasn't just diet alone. One of the biggest things I can help you with when it comes to just disease in the body is understanding the acid-alkaline balance in our body. Generally, when we're quite sick, we're quite acidic, right? Stress, diet, over-exercising, not sleeping properly, all these things create an acidic environment in our body, and our body starts to break down. If we can bring it back to more of an alkaline balance, then that's when diseases such as tumors and cancers have a problem actually growing. It's actually, it's an actual thing out there. So all I really had to do is start to realize, how do I do that more? And that's sleeping more, saunas, like lots of saunas, sweating out toxins and bullshit, actually going to the gym and exercising, and diet and so on and so forth. So it wasn't just diet alone. There was a lot of things out there that I needed to do. There was also, when I was going through that process, now I didn't know if this is the right thing to do, but every weekend I would actually do a weekend fast. So my last meal was a Friday night, and I wouldn't eat until Monday morning. So that was like what? Saturday night, Sunday night. So it was about like a 2.5 day, around there, fast every single week. So, and that's what I did, that along with a really good diet, which was basically just pulling out a lot of the acidic stuff that was creating acidic inflammation in my body. A lot of sauna work, make sure I was getting good night's sleeps. Again, doing the fasting every single weekend as well too. So that's all. There's a lot of different things that I actually did to make sure that I was bringing myself back. Because at the time, this is when I was trading. Just crazy hours, sometimes 10, 12 hours a day. And this is where I just realized that this is not a life, right? Like, even though I was making really good money, this is not a life. And everything else was out of control. My relationships were out of control. I wasn't spending time with my kids. Now I'm really, really grateful for that, because that was one of the tipping points for me to help me realize that I didn't need to sit in front of the screen for 6 hours per day or 10 hours per day trying to find these trades on these shorter time frames, which I'm showing you right now. I'm just doing this here for the YouTubes, but I realized that I didn't need to like trade the small time frame charts. I always thought that I did, and so therefore, and then that's when I started switching more back to more like of a swing trading approach. Instead of trying to get some good trades throughout the day, I was more like, and then I started getting access to the mentality of, well, I don't. I need a trade that's not going to make a big profit, not lots of small trades. But if I can have one really big profit, that's going to equal probably 10, 20 really good trades for me, or smaller trades for me. And so it was actually a blessing in disguise for me. So, and then here I am today, still kicking on, still very, very, very blessed that God has continued to allow me to enjoy the fruits of this life, because one day I know it won't be here anymore. So I'm very grateful God has continued to allow me to experience this world. Catching J Hitler protein, that was one. So yeah, so Ruskell, yeah. If you're still around. And so yeah, that's how I started, and now this is when I started looking for, and it was really interesting, right? Because back then it was like, how do I make $1,000 a trade, or how do I make a $5,000 trade, $5,000 profit trade? Now my trading style is, I'm looking for a trade that I could potentially make $50,000 or $100,000 in one trade over the course of a couple of months. You see the difference in thinking. Once I started to think more about how do I potentially find an opportunity that could make me 50 or 100 grand in a couple of months. Now I started this, and then when I started doing that, then I started having 4 and 5 and 6 of these trades. Before you know it, you start to have a really good income throughout the year. But the hard thing about trading is the income is not an income for what most people think is an income, because most people want to go to the market to create an income every single week to then live off, and that's just not the way trading works. Because some months are going to be very, very quiet. There's not going to be many opportunities. And that's that, and that's actually what's helped me get to where I am right now. But you are real. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. John, you're using your style. I created a scan found to the moon. Watch this. How awesome is that? To the moon. Watch this. Now, Tom, top spin. What I teach is not a trading style. It's how markets really work. You know what I mean? It's not a gimmick or an idea. Like, markets trend. How do we understand when the market's trending so we can know where the market's likely to be going? The moving average gives us the overall momentum. There's momentum in the markets, right? There's this thing called price and time phases, energy using and energy building phases. And just understanding what phase we're in is going to tell you what's going on. And so we go through these different phases, right? We go through an energy using phase when the market goes up for a while. And then after a period of time, we're going to go through an energy building phase because it runs out of energy. And then we go through an energy building phase, what's called a time phase. In WD Gans term, time phase, where the market's just not doing much. And then after time phase is finished, we're likely to then continue that trend and go for another what's called a price phase in WD Gan, which is called an energy using phase, where the market's using energy, and then it's going to pause again, and we're going to have another correction through here. And then after a period of energy building time phase, we're now likely to go for another move, and then the market goes up through there. And here's where it gets really awesome. The best thing is this, is that if we have at this time the moving average, this green moving average coming up, if we get this pattern here like this and the moving average trending up, there is a huge, massive probability that the next leg I said the next leg. This is trading purposes. The next leg, we're going to see something like that there. We don't know how high, how far, but there's a massive probability we're going to get another leg to the upside. Look at this chart here right now. So what I teach here is not a gimmick or a fad or an indicator. It's what these markets do. This is how they go through these different phases. They go through trending phases and then no trending phases. They go through momentum. They go through these different, what's called price and time phases. And this is where a lot of traders don't understand this, is the market will go through what's called a price phase or an energy using phase, and it'll go up and up and up and up and up. And it's already used a lot of energy. It's probably going to go through another one of these phases soon. And then this is when a lot of traders get involved with it here. And then the market corrects against them. It's one of the biggest amateur mistakes out there. And look at this here, right? Look at this hourly chart. Easy Tiger, right? Look at this hourly chart here, right? It's the same thing. Energy using, energy building, energy using, energy building. Oh, moving average trending up. There's another leg to the upside. Oh, now we go sideways again. Moving average trending up. Boom, here we go again. Chart one moving average. See how simple it can be? It really is. It's just if I look at that through there, and you go check out, say for example, look at the same thing happened with gold, right? It's the pattern. It's what these markets do. It's when I'm looking at from a weekly chart. Look at this move here, right? Look what gold was doing. It's all the same thing, right? Market goes up for a while, energy using phase. After a while, we get tired. Then we need to go through an energy building phase. Moving average trending up. There's probably going to be another move to the upside. Energy using, energy building, energy using, energy building, and then energy using. And now we're going through a bit of a phase through here. But all the time through here, the moving average is trending up. And that's what makes my trading so powerful, is because it's not based off a gimmick or like an indicator or an idea or me trying to think of an economic data. Like it's what these markets do. It's how these markets operate. Is it trending or not? If it's not trending, what does that mean? If it is trending, then and then we can start to see the trends there. We can start to see the momentum behind it. And as you can see, look at all this information I'm giving you right now in this last, say, 30 minutes as example. And all I'm utilizing the chart and one moving average. There's so much power from the chart, because I started thinking a long time ago that most indicators are derivative of the thing. Stochastics, MACDs, RSIs, like that, they are derivative of the thing. So then I realized if I can start getting really good at the thing. Now, again, a lot of this stuff I've learned from WD Gann, right? Trend analysis and momentum in the markets. And looking at things like the price and time phases. The reason why that's important is because if we've gone through a big energy using phase for a while, we know there's going to be an energy building phase. So entering along up here would be a really bad idea, because then we're going to spend a bit of time doing this here, right? Going sideways. But then eventually this is called an energy building phase. And then eventually that energy building phase is going to come to an end. And guess what's going to happen? We're going to now go through another energy using phase, right? Because it's built up the energy. It's probably going to go for another move. And if the moving average is coming up through here like this here, guess what? There is a massive probability we're going to break out. We're going to break out. And we're going to start to see another leg to the upside from there. Now but then this is where now, and look, this is what gold has done all the entire time, right? There's one there, weekly chart. Look, even just gold through here, right? Why did gold have such a big move? A big move generally comes off the back of it not doing much. If you look at silver right now, and so on and so forth. So I hope you can see here that when you start to really understand this here, you simplify the process and you get to the truth of it, not just an idea or what you think or anything like that. It's just, yeah. So yeah, I hope you can understand that the reason is here. And this is by understanding this here, it helps me get to the truth. And all this really is that once I start to see that pattern, and I call it the L-shaped trading pattern. L-shaped trading pattern with a strong moving average. What is that? Up and then sideways. See how it's like the L-shaped trading pattern? If I get the up and the sideways like that, but then I get the moving average coming up like that. Massive probability we're going to see another leg to the upside. And with that, I can start to utilize options. I can see a big move. On this weekly chart, it might be for a couple of weeks, maybe for a month or more. And within that, I can find a really good trading opportunity. I can have a high probability of having a successful trade. Rinse, recycle, repeat. It's the same thing. I'm showing you this on a weekly chart right now. And and this is the exact same thing I was just talking about here on the hourly chart as well too. I'm not trading the hourly chart, but I'm just showing you that this is where easy. There we go. So, and this is where entering off like right now on silver is a really bad idea. You want to enter off an energy building phase first. What does that mean? Look at silver here. Why are we having a big move here? Market had a big move up for a while, then it went sideways. Energy using went sideways, energy building broke out. Now we're having the move. Wait for it to build the energy first for it to go for a move. Don't wait. Don't get in after it's made a big move for the last month because it's already been utilizing all the energy. It's going to go through what? Another one of these energy building phases. So, and once I start understanding that, I get in when the market's building energy. That's when I get excited because I'm like, oh, we're about to go for another move soon. Get ready. Now, I don't enter off that, right? I wait for a confirmation. I wait for the trigger, which is generally a breakout. But it's all the same thing, right, guys? It's all the same thing. Why is this going for a big move here, right? And the same thing for even all markets out there, right? Look at gold. Look at gold. Why is gold going for a big move? It had, and then again, when I start to get this, when I get a big move up for a while, for a few months, and then it starts to do not much for a while, but the overall trend is still up, guess what? Massive probability we're going to break out. We're going to go for another move. Now here's where it gets trade management now becomes involved with it, right? Because trade management is now saying, okay, I'm going to get into this. We don't know how long it's going to go. We don't know how far it's going to go. And this is where we can use trade management skills and emotional management skills, fear, greed, all that sort of stuff under control, but also utilizing it where we can now maximize the move as much as possible. We can never pick the top. And this is where, once again, if you guys watched the start of this live session, it was all about me saying I'm looking for big profits and small losses. This is how you get a high win-loss ratio and potentially jumping on big moves. And when you start to utilize things like this setup here, but from a weekly chart perspective, you start to get some really, really, really nice moves. So for me, I'm not like getting the silver right now is really bad. Well, for me anyway, right? I'm the best trades for me have always been after an energy building phase. This is across all markets, right? I took a trade this year on Ethereum. Look at Ethereum here. Why did Ethereum have a big move through here? Look at this. Market ran up. This is a 52 moving average. We went sideways here for a while. See that sideways? What's that? The energy building phase. And then guess what? We broke out. I actually entered here myself. And we had a nice move to the upside for a while. And now we're coming back down here. So energy using and energy building, guys. And remember, the market is like a living, breathing thing. And we need the energy. And you typically see, and this is where like I call it like a channel trade, right? This is where sometimes when we get the energy building phase, but it happens over a couple of years, like platinum. Why is platinum making such a massive move right now? Look at platinum. Where'd my lines go? Is it there? Oh, it's not there anymore. So look at this here. Typically speaking, when we start to get, look at this here. So this over here, it did basically nothing for all this time. This is just the market resting and refueling. And And this is where typically what happens is whenever you get these patterns here for like a couple of years, when you get that sideways movement here for a couple of years where the market just hasn't been doing much for a couple of years, when it breaks out, we're likely to go for a really big move. Very simple. Again, guys, this is exactly what gold did before it. Why has gold had such a big move right now? Look at it. It's all the same thing. Right? Look at this here. All the same thing. Gold did nothing for 3 years. Why is gold having such a big move now? Like all for the last couple of years. It spent 3 years doing nothing, building energy, building a bit of a spring, and then it breaks, and then it goes for this massive move to the upside. It's all the same thing, guys, right? All the same thing. So when you start to understand the markets like a breathing source, and this is where like the energy sector right now and so on and so forth. Anyway, is that gonna? Yeah. When you start to understand this stuff, guys, it's like I just wait for the end. Really, guys, the best trades for me is I'm waiting for a good trend. I'm waiting for a strong moving average. If I can get that and then get the energy building phase, there's a massive probability when the energy building phase is finished, we're going to go for another move with the trend. And I'm just going to look for a good trade there. Rinse, recycle, repeat. I don't have to make anything up. It's my best trades. Okay. Good job, John. Your health is your wealth. Yes, exactly. I want to adapt your trading style. Well, my trading style right now is, as I said before, is like this is the time when I'm looking at the markets now, and I'm just managing my positions, and I'm looking for new positions, and then I don't like to be active because you guys know if you got an active, even if you do have a lot of trade opportunity throughout the year, throughout the day, and you are doing that, one, you're spending most time in front of the screen. This is where you can't go to the gym. You can't take care of your health. You can't like meditate and like all these different things outside of the markets, friends and all that sort of stuff, right? So even if you did succeed financially, but you had no life, you'd be miserable, obviously. And then that's when I started to realize that if I can trade throughout the year and have a really successful year by looking for these opportunities where I can have, over the course of, and put it this way, guys, over the course of, say, one really good trade for me, over the course of, say, a couple of months, I can now make, I can now make more what I used to make an entire year as a laborer. And it's just pretty crazy that way. So, and again, the thing for me is instead of me looking for a smaller trade for me, like a short-term day trade that might make me a little bit of money, right? If I can take a $5,000 trade and get in the markets, like if I put a $5,000 trade in the markets and I'm looking for, say, a $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 profit from a day trade, then if I'm taking that same 5,000, I'm thinking, how do I take that same 5,000 and potentially turn it into a $15,000 or $20,000 profit from one trade, less stress over the course of a couple of months? Once I started asking that question, then I started getting the answers of, right, because it's not a lot of trades we want. We want big profits, right? We don't want we think we want a lot of trades because a lot of trade equals more income, which is not true. A lot of trades, you overtrade, you blow yourself up, you make mistakes, you get emotional, and all that sort of stuff. So the thing for me is I'm always looking for less trades, but big profits. And with that becomes a nice, really good, I call it a healthy income, but it's more like a yearly income, meaning like throughout the year, it's a couple of months, it's slow, and then 2-3 months, you make a lot of money, and then so on and so forth from there. Congrats on beating it, John. Thank you for sharing. No problem, man. No problem. Thank you for educating us on these phases. Just another piece of the puzzle. But what, bullish man, as you can see, right? Like with my trading style, you don't want to be adding. The key to this is I've got a system that I follow: trend analysis, moving averages for momentum, the price and time phases. I'm using that same thing every day. What you don't want to do is then take what I've taught you and then start to overlay stochastics and MACDs and RSIs and moving averages and candlestick reversals and heads and like now you're gonna do yourself a big now you're gonna do yourself a big dissatisfaction. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, John. Thanks you for your videos throughout the year. No problem, Darren, man. No problem. I appreciate it, man. Merry Christmas to you too, man. Merry Christmas to you as well, too. John, what moving average do you use? And do you mainly use the weekly chart for the trend? The most important trend for me is the weekly chart, yes. Because the daily chart can create a lot of noise. Simplified trading, exactly right. So yeah, basically the charts I'm looking at now, right? Now these charts down the bottom here, I don't really use. I'm just bringing it up for you guys, basically. But because I don't use these charts, the main charts are up the top here, which is the weekly chart, which is a 24, and the daily chart, which is this one right here, which is a 52. And isn't that a quinky dink? Look at this here. Market goes up for a while, energy using, then it had a bit of a rest, a bit of a pause. 52 moving averages coming up nice and strong. Breakout, another move. And then you have all these other people that are using Elliott waves and stochastics, MACDs, RSIs, candlestick reversal thingamajiggies. Then they start to incorporate economic data, and no wonder they're losing money. I'm just like, so, and once and again, guys, it's taken me 20 years to figure this out. Now, no, I shouldn't say 20 years, right? I've been trading the market for 20 years. And my first 5 years, I lost a lot of money trading. And it really didn't start to really click for me till like 15 years in. So it's really only the last 5 years that things have started to slowly click. And especially the last 2 or 3 years for me, I'm starting to see things more and more and more and more and more and more. So it's taken me a long time to think the right thoughts and understand the markets properly, and then not do some dumb shit like thinking the wrong thoughts, like thinking the inflation number's going to. And again, guys, what is trading? Trading is I want to be able to enter the market with a high probability I'm going to make a profit off this trading pattern. That's all trading is. So if that's the case, if I can have a real simple system, strong moving average, nice, good sideways period, which is an energy building phase, there's a massive probability we're going to go for another move to the upside. And with that, creates a good, powerful, high probability trading setup, a good trade. Simplify the process, guys. And this is when, especially when I get this thing, when I get these sort of things, these sort of setups on the weekly chart, when I do get the breakout, it could last a couple of weeks to a couple of months. Now you start to talk some, and you utilize options, then you can start to pick up 100, 2, 3, 400% return depending on the move. Then that's when trade management, right? Maximizing the profit as much as possible. So it's trade selection, trade management. So that's the trend is the lows and the highs, though bullish though. The trend is lows and highs. Moving average just confirms the trend, but moving average is more like a momentum indicator. If I can have these, like for example here with silver right now, look at this here, very good clear example. Low, higher low, and another higher low. So we have these higher lows, and if we have that and we have a strong moving average coming up, there's a massive probability that after we finish this energy building phase, we're going to go for another move. Within that, now becomes a good trading opportunity. I'm just using this, utilize this as an example here. Same thing here. Look at this here. Energy building, moving average trending up. Okay, we're probably going to go from the upside. It's like a momentum indicator. And this is where bullish, if I can have a nice, good trend in place, higher lows, and then we have this momentum coming behind it, that alone creates a high probability scenario of where I should be trading. Make sense? And if I'm going to go against that, I'm probably going to lose most of the time. Make sense? And that's all I'm doing for myself. I'm creating that situation, that scenario there. And that's all I'm looking for, really. John, you are the best. Juliet, are you still online right now? If you are, thank you very much. If you're not, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I've just been trading for a long time, guys, and again, I'm not a very smart person. Like, I don't know how to incorporate. Like, I'm just not a very smart person, and so for me, I've always had to simplify the process. If I wanted to get ahead in this thing called trading, I had to simplify the process for me. Because I left year 10, and then I went and started working with that as a landscape gardener. And then I had all these laboring jobs. So why I'm talking to you about this is, one, it's the most powerful stuff out there on the planet. But secondly, I had to simplify it for me to understand, because I'm not a very intelligent, I'm not an academically smart person, and all those like spreadsheets and cash flow balance sheets and PE ratios and all that sort of stuff. I don't know how to incorporate that into my trading. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, so I can't utilize it. I need to have something that I can rely on year after year after year after year after year. I can't rely on an idea that the inflation is going to be high soon, so let's take a trade on that. Like, it's just not going to. I can't be confident enough to rely on this as an income throughout the year to do that. The key now is find those setups. Exactly. Or, but FYI, hey, bullish. What do you think the stock market's doing right now? Is it not everything I've been talking about right now? Higher low, strong moving average, and we're going through this energy building phase now? Have we not been going through this sideways phase now for the last couple of months where we're breaking out? Look. But bullish, man, bullish. Do you see how the reason why I do well as a trader is all the same thing? Do you see that? I'm not coming up with an idea or trying to make something up or trying to be smart. Like, I don't know. I just utilize what works and is powerful. It's all the same stuff. And it's just every day, the same thing again and again and again and again. It's the same pattern, same things. And that's how I do well as a trader. So all the same stuff. Oh, fantastic, man. There's your Christmas present. And Santa Claus didn't have to come down the Christmas tree as well too. It came from across the world from this crazy guy with a terrible background. But it's all right. I'm in my office, by the way, in my house, if you guys want to realize. I do everything from home. I'm in my house. Office is AKA bedroom, or one of the bedrooms anyway. What's the time? We have, okay. Let's go have a look around the market, see what's happened today. S&P 500, look at this here. That's right. It does, mate. It does. Look at the NASDAQ. Ooh. Look at the NASDAQ. I wonder what's happened. What's the NASDAQ doing right now? Oh, that's right. It's gone through an energy building phase. The moving average trending up. So if we do get a breakout like here, we're probably going to go for another move. Oh, wow. Hi, John. I got into silver at $55. With your breakout method. How do you know when to cash out? To use the 9 moving average on daily? Thank you. Yeah, so did my, by the way, so did a lot of my coaching clients did the same thing as well too. They got in on this breakout here. So my coaching clients are just a lot of my coaching clients, if you're watching or you're watching the replay, you're probably a happy camper today. Or you're a happy camper with this little spike that's happened today. I can't tell you, right? Because however when you get into the market, you need some sort of a plan. Trade selection, trade management. There's no right or wrong answer. All I do know though is yeah, it's totally up to you. This thing can keep going up right now. We've been going up for quite some time. 2x leverage. The best thing I can say to you is this, is that when silver does reverse, and it will reverse soon, when I say soon, it might go to 100 first and then reverse. All I say is this, have a stop loss in the silver price where if it got down to that level, you definitely would want to be out and be okay with that. Therefore, you're locking in the profit. If it does reverse sharp, which by the way, and unfortunately, when silver does reverse, as you can see throughout the years, when silver does reverse, it reverses really quickly, and it doesn't stop slowly like the stock market does. It ends up reversing really fast. So, and that's what's happening here. So unfortunately, this thing is going to get hammered. When this market does turn, it's going to return real quick on you. And you're going to start to get like this one here. Within 1 week, we actually had around about a 30% drop from there. So I would say, like, depending on where you're at right now and what you're doing and so on and so forth, but it's totally up to you. But all I would say is, on a bare minimum, have some sort of stop in place that if it does reverse, you're protecting some. Yeah. Woo. I need to get a new chair. So, and we are pretty parabolic now, aren't we? Thanks. The best present I could ever have. Oh, yep. Dating. Love those trading lesson nuggets. Congratulating cancer. Appreciate you. Oh, thank you, dating, mate. I appreciate it, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's so much power in these markets, guys. There really is. Let's go to, what do we got here? Okay. All right. I'll be back in a minute, guys. Alrighty, so let me flick it over to my main trading software that I use for my trading, which is TC2000. We have about 15 minutes left, so I just want to do some analysis here, see what's going on with all the markets here. This is trade. I use TradingView here, but my main software that I use is this one right here, my TC2000 platform. And the other reason why, guys, is because I have a scan, and these scans actually, as you can see, it's actually pretty slow today. You'd expect that. And then we have this one here. So I have these scans that I run within the software. This guy cost me so much money. He claimed gold and silver would crash for the next 6 to 12 months in his videos a month or so ago. Now silver's $7. I will never trust this guy again. You shorted a big bull market? Well, aren't you a moron? I cost you money? It cost you so much money? So it sounds like you loaded up leverage trying to pick a top. Just because I think something's going to go down doesn't mean you short it. So you need to take responsibility for your own actions. And by the way, if you did lose a lot of money on one single trade, aren't you a moron for loading up too much risk on one trade? That's not being professional. That's you loading up too much money on one trade. Any given trade can lose. Can be a losing position. What the hell are you loading up a big risk for on one single trade? That's not professional. Even the best of the best traders have losing trades, and best of the best traders lose a lot of money. Responsibility is on you, mate. I've never once shorted a very big bull market. If I think something's going to go down, and by the way, we actually did get a correction, it just didn't go down as much as I thought it would. Let's go back to the charts here. And you do know, what's it, Robert? You do know that me and my coaching clients are actually long the metals and miners now. My coaching clients are long from a trading perspective. I'm actually long the metals and miners from an investment point of view. You do know that, right? I'm actually long the market right now in an investment point of view. And my coaching clients are actually long with options right now with silver about a month ago. So so let's actually go back to the markets, guys, today. Let's go. You know, guys, one of the best things that, and I hope Robert hears this, the best thing you can do if you actually want to become good at trading, you're going to screw up so much on the beginning. But the best thing I can say to you is if you can sit back and say, where did I go wrong? You're going to learn the lessons, which is going to help you become better. Hey, bullish. Looking at the S&P 500 right now, when it comes to the energy using and energy building phase, what is the S&P 500 been doing? What's it clearly been doing on this chart here? Let's see if you've been listening this entire session here. John didn't push the button for you. Listening to a YouTube video, taking a trade and loading up on big risk. So that's what the S&P 500 is doing now. Let's go to NDIX. Alrighty, let's go. Higher lows, yeah. Yeah, everything's still very strong, guys. Everything's still very, very strong. Beautiful high lows on the Russell. We're going through another one of these. This is actually one of those energy building phases right now, if you can see that through there. So Russell's still looking very strong. Still just holding there. Bit of a nothing day out of the S&P 500, but still very, very strong. Thank God it's John Howe. Who else would it be? Maybe I should turn the AI thing on. Actually, I don't even know how to use the AI thing. You know, some people have seen my shorts that I've done in the past. They're like, "What's this AI guy?" I didn't know how to use the AI stuff. NASDAQ. Let's look at this here. NASDAQ is still in this what's called the energy building phase, guys. You wonder why the NASDAQ hasn't been doing much, and a lot of these indices, by the way, they've been up and down volatile, but they've just been overall sideways. We're in this what's called the energy building phase. And the reason why that's so important to understand what sort of phase we're in right now, as you can see here, these are my daily charts down the bottom here. The reason why that's important is because, for example, as we start to break above this 26,000 level, we're going to start to enter into that next what's called a price phase, what's called an energy using phase. Energy using phase means that actually we have a directional move. Right? We go through here, look at this here, all directional move through here, energy using. Then it gets tied. We go through an energy building phase. We've done the last 7 months. So when we do break out, get ready for another strong move. Now, there's no guarantees of that. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm definitely telling you not to short it. Don't short a bull market, even if you think it's going to go down. And this is always the hardest thing about these different phases we go through is right now, this is what's called time phase, the energy building phase. It it really gets people unstuck. But once you understand the different phases we're in right now, we know one, what phase we're in, and two, what phase is coming. And it becomes really, really simple, right? Really, 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 really simple. This is the NASDAQ here. Big move up for a while. Now we're going through the energy building phase. After the energy building phase and the energy is built, we're probably going to break out and go through another energy using phase. And the energy using phases are typically the energy using phases. What's called a price phase in WD GAN is strong. And therefore we're likely to get a breakout and have another strong move. Now, don't go place a trade based on what I just said there, guys. I could be wrong, and it goes down and it loses money. Every single trade you take, by the way, guys, you must have some sort of risk management because you're going to be wrong sometimes, and you're going to lose money sometimes. And look at the Dow. Dow strong, eh? Just continue to slowly go up. Okay, let's go look at platinum. Platinum up again. That's that pattern I was telling you about before. If you guys have been watching me now for a while, even if you have been watching the recording, the replay, if you've been watching the replay this entire way through, or this session all the way through, big props to you, right? This is what I was saying before about. This is what I call these. I call these like channel trades. Look at that, eh? Just monster move out of that level there, and silver as well too. Big moves. If you are in the metals and miners, guys, just understand what this is actually doing and what's going to come soon, right? You don't ever want to get, and it's really interesting because the flavor of the month, whatever's making really big moves, people really start to focus on that. So it's interesting now. Most people are focusing on the silver price and not the gold price, where just a few months ago, people focused on gold. Like gold. Now it's like silver. So if you are on the good old YouTubes and you're watching all these videos out there, which no doubt you are, if you start to see a flavor of the month, it's because that's the flavor of the month. But just like all flavors, they become dull sometimes. Like a the 10 years about to get crushed. Why do you say such things, John? Why do you say such things? What's the moving average doing here? It's going down. What is this? Oh, John, it's one of those sideways patterns, but the moving average is trending down this time. What does that mean? High, lower high, trend down, momentum down, sideways for now almost 4 months. Energy building. And I know this sounds crazy, like, John, you're doing this energy building crap on the rates. Come on. Yeah. So therefore, guess what? Now I'll go back to the 4 time frame now so you can actually see it. We're probably going to get a break, or once we do break, especially down through here on the daily charts, once we do break the 10-year down the bottom here, get ready for a big drop in the rates. It's why I'm long the bond market, because when it starts to kick into play, I'm going to make a lot of money. TMF, by the way, guys, if you're wondering the TMF position there. And this has already started to break down from here. So we'll see. market's already almost closed. Okay, so for you guys that are interested in the bond market and stuff like that, look at my pattern up here. This is the TLT market. If people are wondering like when's that big move going to come, or where's the good bullish move going to come, we're still in this downward phase from here on this weekly chart, as you can see. Let me bring this up here. All right, so this is the weekly chart here. The reason why this is important is that if TLT does hold around these levels here without breaking a new low, and then we hold and we start to pick back up and we break above this trend line, like breaking above, like sort of, if we hold here, weekly chart, and we start to break above through there, that breakout is a breakout of a downward phase. This is a downward sort of triangle pattern. But if the breakout, if that happens, then that's when the bond market's probably going to start a really nice rise. Right now, we're still in a bit of a downward phase, basing out phase. But if you guys are wondering when the TMF and TLT are going to start to rise, this is the big pattern here on the bond market there. I think I was doing some analysis yesterday, was it? Maybe, but yeah, that's it there. So. King Russell looks like a strong close soon. A strong close. Bit of a nothing day today. My goodness, next year's going to be an amazing year, guys. Next year's going to be an amazing year. There's so many amazing things that are setting up now. If there are any questions, guys, or anything you guys want me to cover things, anything you may be struggling with your trading or something like that, then I'm happy to answer some things, guys, while I'm on here. I'll be finishing up soon on the live stream. So for you guys that are on, if you guys do want any help with anything, just let me know and I do the best I can. But the most important thing is, guys, as you can see, I keep my trading really simple. But the simple stuff that I use is, it's powerful because it's how these markets operate, right? We go from no trending to trending. We go, where's the momentum in the markets, right? We go from the different phases. We go for, is the market ready to have a nice big move soon? So for example, when the market's not ready to have a big move after it's already made a big move. Look at the Russell, for example. This here really is one big sort of energy building phase because it really hasn't been doing much. Yes, we went up, we went down, we went up, we're going down. This is just one big sideways phase. That's why I'm saying like there's a real high probability we're going to start to see a nice good when we start to break out there. So Topfin, thanks for your videos throughout the year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thumbs up, 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 thumbs up. Keep up to the moon, 100% video. All right, let's go to Tesla down. Energy sector, guys. Energy sector is the next market to keep an eye on for. The reason why, if I bring on that big monthly charts, big long-term monthly charts, where are you? This is the energy sector. Look at this here. For you guys that have been listening to me about the different phases, big, massive energy building phase for 3 years. Once we break, there's a real high probability we're going to start a big move. but we don't know when it's going to break. I'm not in it right now. I'm still waiting to see where it breaks and when it breaks. But if we do start to see a break up above 50, there's a high probability we're going to start to see a real nice, good trending environment from there. And that's even the stock. One of the stocks I'm focusing on. Look at this here. XLM. It's already broken above the resistance. Look what's happening now. So for you guys that know, break above resistance, come back down. Look at here. Found support, found support. This is a big long-term monthly charts, by the way. These are my targets I see coming. Now, it may not, but once we start to break above 125, but this doesn't look like much. That's 3 years. All this through here, that through there is 3 years because of the monthly chart. This is the pattern you look for if you're looking to get on big moves that's likely to last a couple of years. Huh, interesting, eh? Interesting. Let's go. Oh, look at that volume. Wow. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you, Yum. I appreciate you. Jeez. One of the things, guys, I want you to be like watching for as well is typically when you go through these big bull phases, before we start to see the correction, look at this here. Notice how this point up here, that point there before the drop, we had these big volume spikes. Same back here, right? Look at this here, a big volume spike back here. And that resulted in that high point back there before we went through this sideways phase. So after the market's already made a big move to the upside, once we start to get these volume spikes, that typically is a signal that the bull phase is likely to come to an end. Bull phase, before we go through another correction, sideways period, pullback, and then maybe continuation there. But from a short-term perspective, this is what typically you get those volume spikes. You can just see this here. Every time market goes up, volume spike. The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm looking at silver right now. Look at that volume spike on silver. Look what happened last time here. Right here, that point up there was what? See the volume spike? That volume spike there? And then we had the... So I'm not calling for a top in silver, but typically when they get these big bull phases, they typically end when you get these volume spikes here. Bit of an exhaustion volume. All right, let's go before I finish up today. Let's go and have a look at all the markets. Actually, let's bring on just my daily weekly. Let's just see what's going on here. The big picture analysis. Let's start off with the Russell. Russell still very, 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 very strong to the upside. Nice big breakout. Nice big pausing pattern here. That, again, very, very, very strong. So we should get a nice little move out of that level there. NASDAQ, same type of thing as well too. NASDAQ has done that through there, broken out of this sort of channel pattern here. And then now we're holding through here, and now we're breaking up. So now we're creating another higher low here. So NASDAQ looks still very strong as well too. The Dow has been one of the strongest one out of the whole lot. It's just continued to power up. So we do actually have, we're looking at some sort of channels. We do have a bit of a target up here somewhere. So if that's the daily chart, you'll see this is the possibly up towards these levels up here is that big long-term sort of resistance line back here. So that's where the Dow may be heading towards. ES, same type of thing. We're breaking up above this channel now. We break out of this channel. If we do continue up from here, which looks like we're trying to anyway. If we do continue up from here, then we should see over the next couple of months, next 6 months, I would say, within that time frame, we could start to see that 8 to 8,500, which is the target off that channel there, and we're breaking out now. Hi, can anyone please suggest a free desktop trading platform on which a complete beginner like me can observe the stock market? Freestockcharts.com. So there's free. That's actually, I've used that before in the past. So if you go to, I think it's called freestockcharts.com. Free stock charts.com. Is that still open? Oh yes, it is. Yes, yeah. So this level right here, I think freestockcharts.com. Now this is the free version here. Freestockcharts.com. Yeah. So obviously the TC2000 is the paid version, but for just starting out, now obviously it's not real-time data. But when I first started learning the platform, it's obviously delayed data, and you don't get all this the proper functions and so on and so forth. But you do get a good software here, delayed data, just to try it all out. Yeah, and then obviously when you're happy, you can upgrade. This is one that I used myself. I'm not sure if there's actually a limit now on the actual trial there, but that was there. That was the software. Freestockcharts.com is what I used when I first started getting introduced to TC2000. And then obviously I wanted to upgrade from there. TMF, 2-year, 10-year. No problem. No problem. Yeah, it's what I used initially just to get used to the TC2000 platform. And then when I wanted to use it more on a professional level, meaning for my trading, and that's when, yeah. Oil. Tesla down. Okay. Bitcoin down. Interesting time. So, alrighty, guys, that is it for me today. I'm done and dusted today. Have an amazing weekend, everybody. And I'll speak to you guys real soon. See you, traders.